Well, several city council members were still talking and texting on their handheld cell phones while driving a full month after voting on that hands-free ordinance. And we spotted one of them doing it even after that ordinance became official on January 1st.
Okay, motion carries. Thank you very much, everyone.
Back in November, San Antonio City Council members voted to make it illegal for you to use your phone in any way while holding it in your hand and driving, calling it a dangerous practice.
It is not lawful, by virtue of distracted driving, to put somebody else's life in danger.
In fact, some council members said they didn't want to wait until late January to enforce it.
My perspective on the grace period is that it begins now. And the moment we pass this thing,
the sooner we do this, the more lives we're going to save. And if it's just one, it's enough.
But a month after that November vote, the troubleshooters found some council members failing to follow their own advice. In mid-December, the troubleshooters spotted District 7 Councilman Chris Medina talking on his handheld cell phone while driving downtown and texting away while sitting at a traffic signal. Texting and driving is a violation of an older ordinance that was passed in 2010. When he voted for the most recent ordinance, Medina claimed he'd been driving hands-free ever since returning from training with the Air Force Reserve in Maryland last October.
So I got used to that idea already while being away, and in fact bought my hands-free device at the Baltimore airport before I came home.
But Medina wasn't the only one. This is District 4 Councilman Ray Saldana talking into his handheld cell phone and tapping on it with his thumb while traveling highway speed on I-10.
Okay, it's me and my Lumina.
We showed Saldana the video of him that was shot 4 weeks after he voted for the hands-free ordinance.
So is this one of these do as I say, not as I do kind of things?
No, it's one of these, you gotta break bad habits and we have to lead by example. There's no excuse for it.
That same day in early December, we spotted District 6 Councilman Ray Lopez driving his SUV north of downtown. Lopez spoke out strongly for the ordinance the day of the vote.
It will become second nature that we don't talk. We don't use our phones.
But there he was 1 month later talking into his handheld phone while holding it out in front of him.
Do you think at this point you should have been leading by example and doing it already?
Oh, you're absolutely right. Should be leading by example. We need to wait until we get to where we're going before we check those messages, and I'm guilty of that. I'm doing my best to break it. The sooner we do this.
Remember, Lopez and District 8 Council member Ron Nirenberg were the ones who said they wanted the ordinance to be enforced right away. But we saw Nirenberg as well having a conversation with his cell phone up to his ear as he navigated through traffic on downtown streets. Again, all of this video was shot in December, weeks after council members passed the hands-free ordinance, but before it officially went into effect on January 1st. Would any council members continue to use their handheld phones even after the ordinance became law on the first of the year? We watched them again in January to find out. And on January 13th, we spotted Councilman Chris Medina driving down busy Bandera Road while holding a long conversation on his handheld phone. A clear violation of the ordinance he voted for and which went into effect almost 2 weeks before. The next day, we went to see Councilman Medina and showed him the video.
This was yesterday morning, and as you can see, you're talking on a handheld device while driving. So I have to ask, how do you expect San Antonio residents to obey this ordinance when you're not?
Certainly, we're all human, and I think that it's certainly important that everybody has to abide by the law, including myself, everybody. There's no excuses for that.
At least one council member changed his habits. We saw Councilman Ron Nirenberg on 2 different days in January, and both times he did not use his handheld phone. We also spotted District 3's Rebecca Vergran and District 5's Shirley Gonzalez. Both appeared to be driving and talking on the phone using a hands-free device. Councilmember Ron Nirenberg sent me a statement by text. It reads, in part, "Talking on a cell phone while driving is a bad idea and it won't happen again. You've shown that breaking these habits is difficult for everyone, but it is worth saving lives." Nirenberg also told me that his 6-year-old son has started fining his parents whenever they start to reach for the phone while in the car. If you're wondering about Mayor Ivy Taylor, the few times that we saw her, she was, of course, being driven around by someone else in her official vehicle.
At City Hall, I'm News 4 troubleshooter Jaie Avila.